Alright, so this is going to be part 2 to what if Tanjiro learned the breath of Mercury. So with that being said, let's just roll the intro.
Bow in the presence of greatness, 'cause right now that has forsaken us. You should be honored by my lateness, that I would even show up to this fake shit. So go ahead, go nuts, go.
Alright, so in the last part we had just gotten done with Tanjiro basically passing the final selection and him choosing his aura to create his weapon. But before we go any further, I'd like to say, if this video can make it to 50 likes, I will definitely make a part 3. So if you can, please give it a like. That being said, let's actually get into the story. So I want to clarify one thing. In the first part, I said that Tanjiro was a lot stronger than he was in canon. Now, it was poor wording on my part. He isn't super strong. Like, he's not that much better than regular Tanjiro at the beginning of the series. What I meant by that is he is physically stronger than normal Tanjiro. I just want to clarify that for people. So with that being said, let's continue with the story. It would start off with Tanjiro's crow telling him to go to a local town. There would be rumors of women disappearing out of thin air. As Tanjiro walked within the town, he would hear people talking about the recent events. Here he would also see a man in despair. The man would be reluctant to tell Tanjiro his story, fearing that he won't believe him, but Tanjiro assures him that he would. After that, the man takes Tanjiro to where the incident had happened. Immediately after being in that area, Tanjiro gets the whiff of a demon. Smelling around, he then bolts into a sprint, jumping on top of buildings. The man himself is in disbelief. He's seeing a real demon slayer, something that he only thought was a story, a legend if you will. We then cut to a scene in where two arms are coming out of this black puddle. They are wrapping themselves around this woman. She is helpless as she is asleep. Then, within moments, he takes her. Just as it seems like she's going to become another victim, this is where Tanjiro stabs the black substance on the ground. She is then released from his grip, and it reveals a demon was behind it. The demon would obviously be angry. Tanjiro just cost him his lunch. Immediately after seeing this demon, however, Tanjiro would try to attack it. He would use the third form of Breath of Mercury. Now, I got this from a comment, so if you guys have any other suggestions for different forms of the style, then comment it down below. But I will change it a little bit from the comment, as I want to involve the Breath of Stone a bit more in the style. In the original comment, the commenter wanted it to be a combination of the first and fifth form of the Breath of Water, but instead we're going to be doing the combination of the first form of Breath of the Water as well as the fourth form of Breath of Stone. So the way that this would work is that Tanjiro would swing the sickle part of his weapon towards the demon, and as that is being thrown, it is basically spinning in a circle like a saw blade. The second part of this attack comes with the flail. Tanjiro would throw that as well, and as it would go through the air, it would meet up with the sickle on the other side of the enemy. So either way, the enemy would be getting hit. So it would be a combination of both a slice and a throw. So this attack would actually hit, but there's a problem here. The demon has multiple bodies. As one would be taken out, the other two would appear behind Tanjiro, trying to flank him. This is where Tanjiro swings his weapon, that being the flail, as he turns in hopes of hitting the demons. Doing so, he would miss, and this would give opportunity to the demons to attack the two humans that Tanjiro has nearby. As that is happening, Tanjiro would have to quickly turn and try to defend them. This would give another opportunity for the third body to try to attack Tanjiro. Tanjiro not being fast enough to react, this is where his sister Nezuko, who has been in the box this entire time, actually comes out to defend her brother. This is also where we find out that Nezuko has been put under hypnosis. Through the power of suggestion, Sakonji was able to make Nezuko believe that humanity itself is her family. We see this as Nezuko tries to protect the two humans that Tanjiro is also trying to protect. To her, they just look like her younger siblings. As things seem to be going well, it quickly escalates, as the two demons take Tanjiro into the murky abyss that they have been going through this entire time. The only thing that Tanjiro could see around him is water. This is until the two demons try to attack him. So normally, Tanjiro wouldn't be able to swing his Kusarigami as fast as he would be if he was on land. Because if you don't know, water is way more dense than air. Between 700 and 800 times, in fact. But because Tanjiro has been doing that physical training, it wouldn't be too hard for him to be close to what he would be normally. So he would use the second form of Breath of Mercury to essentially create something like a whirlpool, because it is based off the whirlpool form in Breath of the Water. And just like water breathing, it probably would be stronger because of how fluid his surroundings are. So Tanjiro would create the whirlpool using the second form, and then as the enemies would be pulled in, this is where Tanjiro would cut off their heads using his sickle. Back in the real world, the demon would have trouble trying to take out the humans because of Nezuko being there. This is where Tanjiro would use the first form of Breath of Mercury to wrap the chain around the demon's neck. This is where Tanjiro asks the demon if he knows anything about Muzan. The demon being scared of Muzan and also not being able to say his name without dying would obviously not say anything, and as a last ditch effort would try to kill Tanjiro. Tanjiro would then step on the chain, and this would cause the chain to get tight enough for it to basically sever the head from his neck. Tanjiro is disappointed at this point, not being able to get any information from the demon, but picks up the souvenirs that the demon has been keeping of the girls and gives it to the guy because of how he lost his fiancée to the demon. Now the man would be devastated. He just lost his wife and he just found out that demons are real. How is he supposed to react? And on top of that, this kid just comes out of nowhere, kills a demon, and just walks off like it's nothing. How is he supposed to continue life like this? He's in pure misery. But Tanjiro does give him some words for thought. He says, no matter what happens in your life, no matter how much you lose, you have no choice but to live your life. So you need to live that life with enough strength to get by. And with that, Tanjiro leaves. His crow then tells him that there's a new mission, one that is in Tokyo. Tanjiro, now fueled by the hatred of Muzan, knowing that there was another person affected by him, is determined to see it through. When Tanjiro gets to Tokyo, he is almost blinded by the city. Because remember, Tanjiro is from a rural part of Japan. The city itself is so much more developed that he gets overwhelmed and decides to go off somewhere more quiet. He sees this food cart and decides to get some noodles. As he's eating, a scent wafts through the air. This smell is familiar. Tanjiro knows it all too well. It's the same scent that was at his house when his family was massacred. This sudden burst of rage goes through Tanjiro as he chases down this scent, only to see the man he thinks is the culprit. He grabs onto his shoulder, turns him around, preparing to use a sword on him, only to realize that this monster that destroyed his family has a child with him. And what makes it worse is that this child calls this monster father. And on top of that, a woman beside him asks, do you know this person? This woman is Muzan's wife. Tanjiro is taken back by this stunning realization that this monster, this demon, got himself into this family. And they have no idea who he is. As this is all happening, Muzan is talking to his wife, telling her that he doesn't know this child. As he does so, he strikes the back of a neck of a man walking nearby. This man turns into a demon and attacks his own wife. Seeing this happen, Tanjiro uses the scarf that he's been wearing as a gag for the demon so that he can no longer bite anyone. In this commotion, Muzan uses it to escape, but not before he realizes that Tanjiro is wearing the sun earrings that the original Breath of the Sun user wore when he was alive. This quickly enrages Muzan. Alright, so this is going to be the end of the video. I know that it is short compared to the other videos that I do usually. It's just that there isn't too much that happens in this particular part of the story. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do plan on making this a full series just like my other Demon Slayer What If. But if you guys did like it, please give it a like. It does help me out a lot. And if you made it to the end of the video, please comment down CS so I know you support the channel. And one final thing before we end the video. If you have any ideas for different forms for the Breath of Mercury, please comment down below and I might use them. With that being said, this is going to be in the video, so yeah.